Hey guys, I know it's been a minute since I posted, but I'm back and I got a new bike. So my last bike, I sold it, the Suzuki DRZ. This is a Honda CRF150RB. I've been wanting one for a while. I've always liked them since I found out about them, and I thought it'd be a good next bike for me. So far, after riding it for the amount of time I have, I like it, but it scares me, that's for sure. It's a big jump up from a 125 trail bike to a 150 race bike, and I knew it was going to be a big jump. I knew it was going to be a lot different, but I haven't really ridden a race bike yet, so this is my first real taste besides the RM85 into race bikes, because the 85 was a two-stroke. So when I was riding that, I was kind of sitting in the low RPMs. I wasn't even in the power band. That was easier. It's a four-stroke, so it's got a lot more torque all throughout the rev range generally. And man, I just need seat time, really. That's all I need to get comfortable on and stuff right now. But man, it sounds great. I love how it sounds. It's a little dirty. I need to clean it. But I mean, generally it's a nice bike. The only things that so far that I found that are wrong with it, quote unquote, is that the shift lever over here is bent a little bit. So it kind of makes it hard to shift gears upwards. Sometimes you'll get a false neutral, or you won't shift all the way into the gear, and it's just a bit of a hassle sometimes, but it's not a huge deal. I can bend it back, or I'll probably just buy a new one and put it on there. It's not really nothing too super expensive. Also, it needs brakes as well. The front brake's real squishy, and the rear brake feels fine, but I think it needs new pads and maybe a rotor. I don't want to touch them right now because I've been riding, they're hot, but it needs brakes. That, or they're just not fully warmed up. I don't really know. But my 85 had a lot of a stronger rear brake than this one, and the front brake on this just needs work generally. It needs its brakes bled, and maybe it needs new front brakes too. It's got a new rear tire, which is nice. What else? When we brought the bike over here, it was flooded because we had to lay it on its side because we didn't bring a trailer. So we had to lay it sideways in the back of that Ford F-250 there, because it's my grandpa's truck, and he was the one who was taking me down there. And since he has a bed cap on it, we couldn't sit it upwards. It was too tall. So we had to lay it on its side and just push it in there. It was kind of a hassle getting it in and out, but we did it. Putting it in there, we had a ramp. Getting it out, we just kind of had to, we had to pull it out, and then once it was out far enough, we kind of set it up a little bit, and we had to roll it off. Kind of let it fall on its front wheel. But starting it when we first got here was a nightmare. I couldn't start it for the life of me because it was flooded. I was trying to unflood it. Man, I kicked that thing at least 30 times. And these shoes right here, I don't have my boots with me, so I've been kicking in these little shoes here. And man, let me tell you, it's hard. I tried bump starting it, that didn't work. But eventually we unflooded it, and now it starts like first kick like nothing. But so far I really like it. I don't know how many hours on it. The guy that I bought it from didn't tell me how many hours were on the engine, so it sounds good. Like, it doesn't sound, the valves, it doesn't make any real weird noises or nothing. Compared to my last bike, it had a bit of a tick to it. It was wanting to top end. This one, it sounds fine. It doesn't tick as bad as my last bike, and whatever noise I'm hearing, just the valves doing their thing. So one thing I want to do, I want to take it to a shop and get it inspected though. I just want to check the top end, valve clearance and stuff like that, because I know these race bikes are a lot more highly strung than trail bikes and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure everything's right. The sprockets look good as well, and the chain. They look pretty decent. But overall, really it just needs a good wash, you know, and just a few odds and ends here and there, and it'll be good. Clutch feels real nice. Another bike I looked at was a KX250, and this bike's a lot easier to get going than the KX250. The KX250 that I test rode, I stalled it out a few times. Now it could have just been the bike itself, but this thing is a lot easier to get going from standstill. Also, first gear on this is real jumpy, a lot more than I wished it would be. So like for cruising around, I'm gonna sit in like second, third gear, because first gear, I mean, you give it just the 1/10 of a throttle, not even that, and bouncing you around everywhere you don't expect it to. But so far I'm really liking it. It's a good bike. I plan on making videos with it in the future, and yeah.